Hello everybody, this is GamerGar. Welcome back to another video of Stardew Valley. For today's video I played 100 days of Stardew Valley Expanded. These 100 days are an accumulation of the 1 year anniversary stream that took place last week. So if you're looking for raw footage of this challenge, just check out the playlists in my own channel and you will find them all there. The stream is called I played 100 days of Stardew Valley Expanded. There's over 30 hours of content to watch. So let's jump into this video and let's see how well we did in the first 100 days of Stardew Valley Expanded. Day number 1, and we begin by cutting down some trees, clearing away some of the resources on the ground and putting down a chest to store our resources. The next thing we do is plant the parsnips and water them up, and we're then going to take a stroll through the village and meet the new Stardew Valley Expanded NPCs, starting with Olivia, who is the mother of Victor here. So Victor is actually a pretty intelligent guy. We also meet Sophia, who is terrified of strangers apparently, but she offers really cool services later on. And of course we meet Andy, who is another farmer struggling to survive. We then make our way through West Intercept Forest, which is now a huge forest, and we find an ancient sword. Day number 2, we start the day with fishing. We use the fishing rod Willie gives us, and we pull up a sunfish, which is one of the tutorial fishes of course, followed by a dulse seaweed, which is a new Stardew Valley Expanded fish. We then go to Willie and we sell with whatever stuff we have on day number 3, and we get the fiberglass rod. We then fish for the whole day and we try to get some catfish. We don't actually end up getting any catfish today, but we do get shads and smallmouth bass and whatnot. Day number 4, we start the day by watering up the crops. Now we're finished watering up all these crops. The next thing we do is cut down some more wood just so I can make a couple of more chests. So I put a chest up here by the lake so I'm not throwing away stuff all the time, and I'm going to probably spend the day up here fishing to increase my fishing skill. And the reason why I want to get the skill up is so that I can start selling fish. So I get fishing level 5. I'm going to go with the fish worth 25% more. And on day 5 I can now pull up the parsnips, which is great. I get level up in farming there as well. And I go into the mines just to say hi. So I want to make my way down as quickly as possible through the mines to get the lovely star drop and to get access to the resources that the mines have to offer, such as copper, iron and gold ores. So I actually get my way down to level 30 today, and I stop there. On day 6 I go to Pierre's for the backpack upgrade. I needed that badly, and I'm giving Caroline gifts too along the way. I'm just giving her daffodils so I can get into her lovely sunroom. So I also make it down to floor 40 today on day number 6. Then I stop and I start farming some of the copper ore as well, because I need tons of copper for upgrades and whatnot. So I then go to Clint on day 7. I get him to upgrade my pickaxe to a copper pickaxe before I proceed further into the mines. I then find a new area here just to the right of Clint's house. It's a bridge, and there's actually a new fish here I can fish up. So the first fish I managed to get my hands on is called a butterfish, and this was a pretty tough catch, but I do get a lot of XP for catching it, and it also sells for quite a lot of money. Now I don't get too many butterfishes today because they're really hard. So I spend the rest of the day just pulling up fish from the lake area up here just to get my fishing XP up. On day number 9 I go to the wizard, who is teleporting Junimos away, which is a really cool scene. But the main reason I went to him was to get access to the community center bundles. So I just finished the spring foraging bundle there, and I got access to some free spring wild seeds which I plant. I'm going back down into the mines today now, and I'm just blowing open some ores here. I've got lots of iron ores there as well. And I also got my my trusty pickaxe ready to go. So on day number 10 it's raining, and I start the day by just collecting some forageables I put down earlier. Morris is actually outside Pierre's wanting people to buy Jojo memberships on a rainy day, which I find hilarious. I also try to get some more catfish today because they sell for really nice money, and I end up pulling a few out of the water, which is pretty good. Back down into the mines, day number 11. I get the spiral floor, but I got a staircase. Before I go down I get the lovely copper ores. I make it down to floor 70 today, and I get the master slingshot, and it's time to farm some skeletons. So the further I can get down here the better. Now the copper pickaxe is nice, it's just 2 swings to break away the regular geodes, so it goes deep as I can. I make it down to floor 80 and I get the lovely firewalker boots, and I keep going further and I even get a diamond. The great thing about diamonds is you get 150 mining XP when you break open a diamond node. I purchased 110 strawberries today. There's me behind the bunny statue. And I also start the minigame here for the Easter event, and I lose to the kiddos there, Jess and Vincent, who teamed up and took the prize. It's also worth noting too that when you play Stardew Valley Expanded, the eggs are placed differently during that Easter event, so it was much harder to get them. Day number 14, we're giving Haley a gift, and she really likes that. I also finished off the Spring Crops bundle too, to try to open up the greenhouse. But we still have a ways to go. Day 15, it's raining, and look at the lovely mist here before we go into the mines for another day of mining. So I actually managed to finish off all of the minecart bundles today, and this is going to give me fast travel, which is going to make life way handier for me because I can now fast travel all over the map. The Junimos are pleased. I also give Olivia a jade today for her birthday, and she was really pleased with that, giving me 2 out of 8 hearts with Olivia. So we now go further down into the mines. I get the obsidian edge, and basically I just throw that away because I have a much better weapon at the moment. So I have a weapon here now called a slammer, and it is awesome. It makes very short work of the enemies. So we're farming copper again today. I needed to make tappers, needed to upgrade tools, and I also needed to make kegs. So Demetrius visits us, and I say I want to go with the Bat Cave because the Bat Cave, it's a little bit easier to complete the community centre bundles. It's off to Clinton now. We're going to upgrade the axe to a copper axe, so that'll be a few days. And I also do more fishing today, and this time I managed to pull up a puppy fish, which was a new fish that I got, and that also sells for a lot of money. 525 gold for a puppy fish, and you can catch those almost any day. So I made it down to floor 100 in the mines in day 18, and I get a lovely star drop, which increases my maximum energy. The more star drops I can get now, the better. So it was Pam's birthday today. Gave her the bear. She was super impressed, bringing Pam up to 3 hearts. So it was back into the mines, just trying to get down to floor 120 to get the skull key. If I see rooms like this with lots of crates, I of course get them because they can drop really nice stuff. It was also back to Clint. I got my copper axe back off him. Now I'm going to give him the axe back straight away because I want the iron axe as soon as possible. I get the space boots too in the mines. There's just 10 levels to go, and I spend the rest of the day trying to get some fish here. I get the ghost fish, which is needed for the fish roster collection, and I also got down to level 120 here on day 20, and I got the skull key, so I can now go into the skull cavern. But before I go into the skull cavern, I needed money to unlock the desert bundles. So it was Shane's birthday. I gave him a bear. He was super happy with that. And I also did a bit of fishing here too, down by Marilyn's boat. But there wasn't any new fish to be gotten. Day 21, I can finally harvest my first batch of strawberries. So I pick up all the strawberries. And I also go to Clint today on day 21, and I get my steel axe back off him. And I purchase an iridium rod off Willy because I want to get more puppy fish. So with the iridium rod, I can use a trap bobber, and now I was able to get tons of butterfish and puppy fish. And of course I was going to sell those for tons of money. So we now go to the Gunther twins. That's right, they are Gunther twins in Stardew Valley Expanded. That's actually a joke. The reason why you see double Gunthers is because my interior mod is conflicting with the Stardew Valley Expanded mod. I do fix that later on, but for now we have to put up with twin Gunthers. So we spend the rest of the day fishing, and because it was raining I tried for the eel and I got that. Day 23 I get the copper watering can back off Clint to make my life as a farmer a little bit easier. And I also give Caroline another daffodil, pushing her up to 2 hearts, which means she's now going to give me the recipe for the tea sapling. So it was Andy's birthday today. Gave him a butterfish. He was super happy with that. I also made some tea saplings, 29 in total. Gonna sell those and make tons of cash. So it was time to stock up on fibre so I could make more tea saplings. So I just ran around the farm today with the site trying to get as much fibre as possible. And I also cut down as much trees as possible to get myself some wood so I could make more tea saplings. So the next thing I'm going to do here now is go to sleep, of course, before the next day starts. As we can see, I made 27,000 gold from selling all those lovely tea saplings. Day 25, more strawberries have emerged. Gonna harvest all those, of course. Probably gonna sell those as well to make some extra money. So I go to Pierre. I'm gonna sell him all the strawberries. I got 54,000 gold there, which is more or less enough now to unlock all of these lovely desert bundles. So when I unlocked all the bundles, the Junimos appeared, as per usual, and they're going to fix up the bus for me, which gives Pam a job, and that means I can now drive to the desert every day just for 500 gold, and I can access the Skull Cavern. I also get Robin to build a coop on the 25th as well, and I get rid of this huge tree stone blocking this shed. And when I go into this shed, I get a cool cutscene here. And what we're looking at here is Grandpa's shed. And what's really cool about this is you can get a quest to do that shed up, and you can use it in the future. So I get a fried calamari off of the travelling cart NPC today, which I can actually give that to Pierre because it's also his birthday, so I got super lucky with that. I also went to the secret woods, and as we can see, it is much bigger because of the expanded mod. That means there's a lot more tree stumps I can break open for hardwood, and I need all the hardwood that I can get for the upcoming quests. So I also go to a new area here to fish, and I pull up a fish here called a king salmon, which sells for a lot of gold. It sells for 687 gold, which was really nice. That is a king salmon in the bag. I also give Pierre the fried calamari for his birthday, and that gives me a lovely 3 hearts with Pierre, which is super nice. And I spend the rest of the day just organising the farm, putting down sprinklers. So Robin here goes into the shed that I just opened up, and she says she can refurbish it if I give her the materials. And it's going to be a challenge to do that, and a challenge it is. It is really expensive to finish off the completion of that shed, but it is super worth doing. So the desert is now super big because of the expanded mod, but it's actually really useful because there's a lot more cactus fruit and coconuts for me to pick up. So I spend a great deal of time running around the desert exploring, picking up the cactus fruits and the coconuts. I also find the skull cavern hidden away in the corner, and I try to get down to level 25 today just so I can get 10,000 gold off key in the mail. So I also give Emily a gift because it's her birthday and she's super happy with the mineral that I gave her. And I spend the rest of day 28 in the skull cavern trying to get to level 25. Which I do, which is great. I just got level 25 there, and Key is really happy with that, so he is going to send me 10,000 gold in the mail. So I spend the rest of the day in Skull Cavern just getting iridium, copper, basic resources. The next day I go to Clint to get a backpack upgrade. It's now the first of summer. We start by getting the best backpack upgrade money can buy. I also buy tons of starfruit seeds off Sandy, and I plant those along with other seeds that I got from Pierre that are needed for the community centre bundle, such as the tomato and the corn, of course. So I now get some summer forageables, and I complete the summer foraging bundle, which gives me access to free 30 summer seeds, and I'm going to plant those straight away as well. I cut down a couple of trees up here as well, just to clear away some space so I can put down more buildings. I also complete the construction bundle because I had the hardwood for it now that I got the steel axe, and I had the wood and the stone. I'm also going to get Clint to upgrade the hoe to the copper hoe to make my life a little bit easier. I fixed the bridge here too, so I can just head on over here and try to get the crimson fish. And I also get access to some other goodies as well that I can pick up, such as the rainbow shell. I meet Susan, a new NPC who was stuck up in the bathhouse area because of the boulder that fell, caused from Georgia mining around the area. I purchased 2 chickens as well from Marnie that I can put into the coop. I get a white chicken, and I also get a brown chicken. And the reason why I get a white and a brown is because I need those for the community centre bundles. I also purchased a silo, and to fix Grandpa's shed I need hardwood, stone, iron bars and battery packs. Tons of battery packs actually, 50 iron bars, 150 hardwood. It was a difficult task, so I decided to start straight away to see what kind of shed I would get in return. Best place to go for hardwood, of course, is the secret woods, and because the secret woods is much bigger, I can get a lot more hardwood per day. I also go to Jess and give her the pink cake for her birthday. And I go back to Clint to get him to upgrade my pickaxe to a steel pickaxe. So I visit Susan today on her emerald farm. I get a cool cutscene here, and she says if you live by the railroad long enough, nothing wakes you up at night. Poor Susan has to deal with the passing trains all the time. Poor Susan. So the rest of the day is spent just managing the farm, and the next day I go to the secret woods. I find this cool little area, and I pick up these forageables called a red boneberry, which I sell. I also spend the rest of the day cutting down trees because I need a lot more wood for upgrades that I want to do on the farm. By the end of the day I make more sprinklers, place those down, which means less watering that I have to do. The next day, it was Martin's birthday. I just gave him a fish. The next thing I did was go back to Clint, got my steel pickaxe, which means I can now be more effective in the skull cavern, and I got Clint to break open a ton of geodes. When all those geodes were broken open, I then went to the Gunther twins, and I traded in all of my artifacts to Gunther. I then attempted to catch a legendary fish known as a crimson fish, and I pulled that right up out of the water. I also got awarded with 200 fishing XP, which was super nice. I then decided to get some more fish to add to my fishing roster, and I managed to get a frog here, which was very interesting. That's a Stardew Valley Expanded fish. I also purchased some rare seeds off of the travelling cart lady, and I went back into the secret woods to farm the lovely tree stumps to get more hardwood. I managed to put up some more fish down in a new area here in Cindersack West. I got a bull trout, and the next day, because we had a stormy day beforehand, I got battery packs. I needed 20 in total for Grandpa's shed, so the more battery packs I got, the better. I also got an orange inside the bat cave here, and I gave that to Gus because it was his birthday, because Gus loves oranges, so that was really lucky as well. Back down to the mines today, I was looking for fibre, I was looking for stone, I was looking for copper ore, I was looking for bug meat for bait, I was looking for loads of stuff. All of course can be gotten in the starter levels of the mines. I gave Maru a battery pack for her birthday, she loves battery packs. That was Maru taken care of. And I spent the rest of the day cutting down more trees to get more wood. So the next day we had the luau, and I actually had a gold star sturgeon for that, which I caught up in the lake. And the governor was super happy with that. It was the best soup he tasted. Spent the rest of the day smelting some bars. Day number 40, we are farming dust sprites because I badly needed coal. I made some more lightning rods to increase my battery pack output, so I put those all over the farm. The more battery packs I got now, the better for Grandpa's shed. Made some tappers as well, actually. And I was going to put those tappers on those trees that I just grew. So 2 trees grew a little bit wonky. I cut those down, and that left 18 trees that I could put tappers on. That would be 18 oak resins every couple of days, which is really nice. So when I put the tappers on these trees, I was set to make cakes. All I needed to do was wait for the tappers to produce oak resins. Back to the Gunther twins today, and it was time to donate more stuff to them, so I just gave them a chewing stick and they were super happy with that. I also went up to the boulder here, and I got a cool cutscene here from Clint. He says Lewis hired him to get rid of the boulder. It's going to require an explosive that packs a punch. It was also Alex's birthday, so I just gave him a light gift. I got 2 out of 8 hearts there. Now to remove the boulder for Clint, I needed 20 coal and 20 iridium ore. But on day 42, the first set of starfruits are ready to go, so I harvested those, and I'm going to keep all those starfruits to put into cakes. I also got tons of melons as well, and some coffee beans, which means I can even plant more coffee plants. I just sell the melons because it was the starfruit I wanted to process for the starfruit wine. Back to the travelling cart lady, I buy 5 more rare seeds, which are going to come in super handy in fall. I also got a cutscene here from Andy. Says, would you look at that, all of the farmers of Stardew Valley are here. So we had, of course, Marnie, Sophia, Susan, Andy and myself. That was a really nice cutscene. So on day 42, I planted more starfruit seeds, and I actually bought a lot of starfruit seeds, so it took me the whole day to reorganize the farm for the extra starfruit seeds that I purchased. On day 43, I went down to the mines, and it was farming more dust sprites for coal, because coal was something that I was constantly running out of, so I just needed tons of coal for that. I also started making some more sprinklers, so I just started processing some quartz there into refined quartz. I started checking on the chickens to see if they were going to lay large eggs, but unfortunately not at the moment. The chickens needed to be happier. So that was just the quest there to remove the railroad boulder. I also went down to the desert to get some new fish to add to my roster. I got the scorpion carp today, which I needed, and I also wanted to get a sandfish, just so that I would have it for Penny's upcoming birthday, and I did get the sandfish right there. I purchased loads of salad off Gus today because I wanted to get ready for a Skull Cavern run, and I also got a really cool starfish from the beach as well, which is a Stardew Valley Expanded fish, added to the fishing roster. So today, number 45 was a Skull Cavern run, and I had a lot of stuff gathered for a decent run, so I managed to get down, not to floor 100, but I made it down deep enough where I was able to get some iridium ore. I also got super lucky, and I managed to get my first prismatic shard, so I'm super happy about that. If I came across large clusters of ores like that, of course I blew them up with bombs. I got level 10 mining by the end of the day. I went with Prospector, which increased my odds of getting coal. So all the geodes I got from that run, I got Clint to break them all open, back to the Gunther twins, and I gave them everything except the prismatic shard because I wanted to get a galaxy weapon from that. So day number 46 was a day of fishing, and I finally got the puffer fish I needed. I also picked up the tuna, which was also needed for the bundle. I bought an ice cream today off Alex, and the reason why I got an ice cream is because it was Demetrius' birthday. He loves ice cream. I also brought my prismatic shard down into the desert area with the tree obelisks, and I got my new galaxy sword. The galaxy sword is one of the strongest weapons you can get in the game, at the moment of course. So it was back to the Skull Cavern today, and I needed everything. After the Skull Cavern, I just went back to the farm, and it was time to get the oak resins, which means I could make the cakes. So I managed to make 18 cakes. I was going to fill those up to the top with lovely starfruit. I just placed all the cakes over there to the left because I didn't have any shades yet. And all those cakes were going to generate coffee for now, and when the coffee was finished with, I was then going to put the starfruit inside the cakes. So I did a bit more fishing today, got a butterfish, got a puppy fish, and I didn't get any more new fish from that area, but still the butterfish and puppyfish were nice to get because I could sell those for money. Got some iridium bars in day 49. Went to Robin too, got her to make another farm building. This time we were going for the barn because I wanted to get a cow. I also needed some other animals for community centre bundles, so I decided to get the barn. So a really rare event happened today where a train passed. I got loads of regular geodes and some wood from the train. I also got the super rare leprechaun shoes, which I put inside a chest. So I was really happy with that. I also felt really sorry for Susan because she lives right beside the trains, so she had to hear the super noisy train. I also got an apple sapling today, and I also got a pomegranate sapling for community centre bundles, so I just planted those on the farm just to ensure that I completed those bundles this year instead of relying too much on the Batcave. Spent the rest of the day cutting down some trees because I needed more wood for upgrades, such as barn upgrades, coop upgrades, and tappers, and kegs, and things like that. I did a bit more fishing today, and I managed to pull up tilapia, which I needed for another bundle, of course. I got a cool cutscene with Sophia. She wanted to give me a welcoming gift, which is really nice of her, so I followed her into her storage shed. She gave me a free quality sprinkler. I was super happy with that. Sophia is one of my favourite Stardew Valley NPCs. It was Victor's birthday today. I gave him what he loves most, which is a spaghetti that I got from Gus. I also gave Willie a catfish because I was in a gift-giving mood. So that was Willie and Victor taking care of today. I got a cool cutscene with Jazz. She got lost in Cindersap Forest because she was chasing a squirrel. Brought her back to Marnie, and Marnie was really impressed. So she said, get inside. She's going to cook up Jazz her favourite meal. I thought that was a really nice scene, so I said I'd show it in the video. Purchased a cow off Marnie today because I needed a large cow's milk for one of the community centre bundles. So I just called the cow Bobo. I also got a big coop upgrade today from Robin, and I spent the rest of the day fishing to see if I could get some new fish. I got the ice pip there, which I needed for the fish collection. It was another skull cavern run today. I got the dark cowboy hat, so I decided to liven things up a bit, and I equipped that instead of my other hat. I also got iridium sprinklers today, followed by a super lucky prismatic shard, so I'm super stoked with that. I also got an auto grabber in the skull cavern today, which was really nice. I also decided to make some furnaces, just so I can increase my output when it comes to the bars. So I smelted up some bars on day number 54, iridium bars, and I could sell those later if I needed money. I could also use them on upgrades as well. Got Clint to break open a ton of geodes, back to the Gunther twins of course, and it was time to donate all of the new artifacts that I got. So this time they got lots of new things, including the prismatic shard, because I already had the galaxy sword. Spent the rest of the day cutting down trees to get more wood. The next day, look at all the battery packs I got, but more importantly, Gunther visited me to thank me from, giving him all the artifacts, and I was going to get something in the mail soon from the Artifact Association as a reward. So because we're playing the Stardew Valley Expanded mod, it doesn't give us the sword key, instead we get something different. So I wasn't too sure at that time how to get the key to the swords, but I do find out later, how to get down there. So I put more tappers on trees today, went back down into the mines to get more iron ores and to get more coal so I could smelt more bars. I put down more kegs today as well, just so I could increase my starfruit wine output. Filled up all the kegs with starfruit, and I also got a whopping 40,000 gold in the mail from the Artifact Association, giving Gunther all those artifacts. What did I do with that money? I went to Robin's of course, and I got a barn upgrade. I also got a cool cutscene here of Marlin looking around him before he opened up the entrance to the sewers and went down. So I figured that if I ended up being good enough friends with Marlin, he might tell me how to get into the sewers. So I went to a cool event today, the Midnight Jellies, and I got some new dialogue because of the expanded mod. So Andy was lying around. He said he's getting out of there if the jellyfish don't turn up. So that was the end of summer, ended with a really cool scene here with jellyfish. So it was the first day of fall, and we start with hoeing up the farm, watering the ground, and I purchased of course 300 pumpkins, along with some other bits and bobs for community centre bundles. I also went to Sandy, gave her a daffodil, and I also started doing some fishing today as well because it was Penny's birthday and I wanted to get a sandfish for her because she loves sandfish. So it was time for the special orders quests. We were going to go with Robin's project. 80 hardwood was needed, So I do that over the next few days by just going to the secret woods. Gave Penny her sandfish, she was super happy about that. And I just cut down some hardwood. I also did some fishing today as well. And I got the walleye, which was needed for a bundle. Also got the tiger trout, which was also needed for the riverfish bundle. So that was some more bundles completed there inside the community centre. So, day 59, back to the secret woods. We were tearing open more wood stumps, getting more hardwood of course for Grandpa's shed. And it was also back to Marnie. This time I purchased a goat and I purchased a duck because we needed more animal products for community centre bundles. So I finished off another bundle today, the exotic foraging bundle and the fall foraging bundle. So I got more rewards from that. And I was one step closer to completing the community centre. Went for the deluxe barn upgrade as well, and I also started giving people coffee to increase friendship with various people around Stardew Valley, because I had coffee in abundance. The next thing to do was to pull up the legendary fish, the angler, and I got that there on the day 61 at night time. I get level 10 fishing, so I go with angler, 50% more for fish, and I made tons of money today from selling starfruit wine, 58,000 gold in total. So it was time to work on friendship with Marlon. Marlon loves life elixirs, so I just started buying life elixirs off the dwarf, gifting them to Marlon. Completed Robin's special orders quest today. I got myself a nice 2,000 gold for that. And day 63, look at all the lovely starfruit wine that I get to collect. This was going to give me a lot more money. Went to Marnie today. I decided to purchase a pig because I needed a truffle for the community centre bundle. And I also got a deluxe coop upgrade as well, so I could get my hands on a rabbit. So I got a cool cutscene with Victor here, and Victor calls his place Shearwater Bridge, which is a cool name, and he's doing some calculations on the structural integrity of the bridge. Victor says bridges fascinate him, they're so simple, but can have so much impact on the lives of people. And then Victor told me about his dream that one day he wanted to make a bridge. I thought that was really cool. It was a really nice scene with Victor. I spent a great deal of time today to see if I get some new fish from that area, but I didn't. It was just puppy fish and butterfish that I got. I did pull up the sea cucumber though, which was really nice, and I done a special orders quest, this time for the wizard a curious substance. It was Claire's birthday today. I gave her an energy tonic because she loves those. And I got a cool cutscene with Claire here as well, where she wanted a healthy salad, but Gus increased the price from 200 gold to 220. I of course offered to help her out, and she was impressed with that. And it was back down to the Skull Cavern on day 65. I got super lucky and I got a dinosaur egg in the Skull Cavern. And I also got an energy tonic which I pick up as well. Started blowing up some iridium ores as well. And I was getting super lucky with the iridium ores. So when the Skull Cavern run finished, I started smelting some iron ores into iron bars. I popped a dinosaur egg into the incubator just so I could have a dinosaur on the farm for dinosaur mayonnaise and whatnot. And I spent a great deal of time today, day number 66, cutting down trees. Also went to the wizard, gave him an ectoplasm, and he was super happy with that. That was another special orders quest completed. I gave Jodie a rhubarb pie of course, and I actually got a rhubarb pie out of a trash can a few days ago. Jodie loves those. Gave Sandy a daffodil as well, just working on relationships again with people. And it was time to complete Clint's quest by giving him 20 coal and 20 iridium ore for the railroad boulder. So Clint should blow that up in the next few days for us, giving us access to a new area. Purchased a rabbit off Marnie, and I get a cool cutscene here with Marlon. He wants me to come join him by his cool boat. Marlon then showed me to the sewers, unlocked the hatch, and I could meet Krobus. So basically I needed to get 2 hearts with Marlon to gain access to the sewers because I was using the expanded mod. Now that I could access the sewers, I could use the Statue of Uncertainty and access Krobus's lovely wares. So Clint blew the boulder away, I got access to the pair, and I also got a thistle and a goldenrod forageable up here as well, which I thought was really cool. So because we're using the expanded mod, we can get access to the pair a lot earlier. So Martin was up all night playing video games. I know we can all relate to that. Martin was very tired going to work. I also went to Grandpa's shed and I gave the 50 iron bars, the 20 battery packs, the 600 stone, and the 150 hardwood. I also gave Abigail a birthday present, and I also purchased a star drop off Krobus. So today was a super busy day. I got a cool cutscene with Claire. She always wanted to become an actress ever since she was a little girl, and she chases that dream every single day. Day 70, look at all the pumpkins. I spent a good portion of today picking up all these pumpkins, and I'm just going to sell these pumpkins of course. I also finished the fall crops bundle today, so I'm going to get nice rewards for that too, and I finished the quality crops bundle as well. I also finished the artisan bundle too, which means I'm one step closer to getting into that lovely greenhouse. I get a cake as a reward. I was super happy with that. I spent all my money today on bombs from the dwarf because I wanted to do another Skull Cavern run soon, and I also paid Robin some gold to upgrade my house. So I went to Sandy, gave her a birthday gift, she was super happy with that, and look at my lovely new shed, look at all the space. What's more important is the first floor of Grandpa's shed is a greenhouse. So I immediately made some iridium sprinklers, set them up in the greenhouse, and I bought loads of cranberry seeds off of Pierre and planted them. I also put down an ancient seed and some strawberry seeds that Andy gifted me. Day 72, it was time for the Stardew Valley Fair, and Andy was around, which was really cool. We also had Susan with her wares as well. It was really nice to see all those people, and we had Sophia with her wares too. I got second place, 500 star tokens, and I of course gambled those by just selecting green all the time. And when I had enough star tokens assembled, I treated myself to a lovely star drop, which is the main reason why I go to the Stardew Valley Fair, because of the star drop that you can get. So that was another star drop in the bag. Back down to the Skull Cavern today, that was my first prismatic shard, followed by a second prismatic shard, followed by a third prismatic shard, which was really nice. I also got a nice blue cowboy hat out of a chest as well, and I got even more prismatic shards. That was the fourth prismatic shard today, which was crazy. Got a fifth prismatic shard a few levels down, followed, you guessed it, by a sixth prismatic shard. 6 prismatic shards I got today in total, which was a great Skull Cavern run. I also got a large goat's milk, finished off the animal bundle, and that was another area in the community centre finished. Gave Marnie a gift today for her birthday. She was super happy about that. You can always count diamonds to make Marnie happy, of course. So today I decided to make the fried egg for another community centre bundle. I also made some triple shot espressos for future Skull Cavern runs. And I also got access to the regular greenhouse on my farm. I used that for coffee beans at the moment. It was time for another special orders quest, day 75. This time I decided to go with Robin's resource rush. So she wanted 1,000 pieces of wood, but I could keep the wood myself, so I spent a whole day on the farm cutting down wood. I finally got the red cabbage seed off the travelling cart merchant, planted that in the greenhouse because I needed that for a community centre bundle. So that should be ready in a few days as well. Went to the desert trader, I got some staircases from the jades that I had accumulating inside my farm. Gave Robin a spaghetti today for her birthday present, she was super happy with that. And we also got the mutant carp from the sores, which was another legendary fish. Went to Clint, it was time to upgrade our pickaxe to a gold pickaxe. He'll have that done in a couple of days. And I got another special orders quest. This time I went with Juicy Bugs Wanted. So it was time to make the Mackie roll, and I made that with some fish and also with some seaweed and rice. Completed another bundle, that was the Enchanter's bundle. Also completed the Chef's bundle because I got a truffle from the pig eventually. Made more crystallariums, they would generate more jades. And I put down some kegs in the greenhouse, put some star fruits in those. I got a really sad cutscene here from Victor saying that his cat went missing, and he got Robin to make a really nice grave for the cat because nobody in town could find it. So hopefully the cat does turn up soon for Victor. Went to Willy today, purchased a lot of crab pots because I wasn't getting any luck with the crab pot bundle, so I was going to put all those crab pots down just to get the lobster and the shrimp and the crayfish and all those things. Got a prismatic shard and an ancient seed from a grub today, super lucky on day 79. I also gave George a leek for his birthday, he was super happy with that. Back to Clint on day 80, get our lovely gold pickaxe. It was time to kill more bugs to get more bug meat for Willy's special orders quest. And of course, if I saw doggies or anything else, I'd kill them too for the monster eradication goals, which I just completed there for slaying doggies. So I purchased a magic rock candy today because it was Thursday and I had prismatic shards to spare. Finished up the day by just giving the 100 bug meat Willy wanted. That was another quest done, 3,000 gold in the bag. Day 82, I started by just getting all the hay and the wheat here on the farm for the fodder bundle. And I managed to finish off the crab pot bundle because I got a cockle there out of crab pot. So that was the aquarium finished inside the community centre. Back to Willy, got my gold axe, super happy about that. Got him to upgrade the pickaxe to an iridium pickaxe this time, just to make my Skull Cavern runs more effective. Went to Pierre, bought some fairy seeds. I'm going to put those in the greenhouse because Sophia loves fairy roses. I went to Grandpa's shed today and the cranberries and strawberries were ready to go. So I harvested all those, of course. And I was going to sell all those cranberries for a nice profit. I also got the strawberries, put them into the seed maker to make even more strawberries that I would replace some of the cranberries with. Day 83, it was time to get the rest of the pumpkins, and I was going to sell all those pumpkins as well to make loads of money. Went to Robin, got her to upgrade the house again for the seller for 100,000 gold. Went down to the mines too and I managed to pull up the lav eel, which I needed of course for the fish collection. That was the lav eel added. I also went to the Hallows Eve event, and because we were using the expanded mod, the maze was way bigger and it was way harder, but it was super fun to experience a new type of maze. We also had to sneak around some enemies as well to get at the lovely golden pumpkin. With the golden pumpkin in the bag, it was time to give that to someone for a birthday present. Who better than Susan, of course. Unfortunately, she only liked the golden pumpkin. She didn't love it because we only got 2 hearts out of, instead of 3 hearts. But Susan still deserves it, of course. I got a cool cutscene here with Susan saying, how do I manage the expensive farm? I told her I just automate it by using sprinklers. Hopefully that'll give Susan an idea so she doesn't have to water her crops every single day. She said she tried to craft some sprinklers but they were very difficult. I got the iridium pickaxe off Flint today, which was nice. I also made a crystallarium and I put a fairy stone in it because Sophia loves fairy stones. This is a much easier way to get the hearts up with Sophia, to just have a crystallarium generate a fairy stone every couple of days. I did some more fishing tonight and I managed to pull up the lovely midnight carp which I needed for the fishing collection. I also went back down to the swords and I got a new fish today. I got a radioactive bass. It's actually worth quite a lot of money. And I decided to store that away and I might use that in a fish pan later. It was the 1st of winter and we started by following Krobus up to a bush. We got a magnifying glass, then we gave him a birthday gift, we gave him a wild horseradish. He was super happy with that. I also got a cool cutscene here with Krobus talking to a Junimo in an area I've never seen before, and the Junimo was nice enough to show Krobus its home. So I wonder will we get to see the Junimo home in a few days? Let's find out. So that was another cool cutscene ended there. I spent the rest of the day pulling up some fish that I needed for the fishing collection. I managed to pull up a squid, and I also managed to pull up another fish here for the fishing collection. I got the perch. I also got the lingcod. I just forgot to show the footage for that. So I put down more coffee beans in the greenhouse today because I wanted a lot more triple shot espressos, especially for future Scott Cavern runs. I also got my iridium axe back off Clint so I can now cut down trees in just a few swings. Finished off the winter foraging bundle today and that completes the bridge repair. Also finished off the dye bundle by putting in the red cabbage, and I also finished off the field research bundle by putting in the nautilus shell. Thus, we have now completed the community centre. Later on that day, I managed to pull up the glacier fish after a huge battle that went on for ages. I just showed the end of it there, but it was quite the battle, and I got another legendary fish to the lovely fishing collection. I also put down a load of mahogany seeds, and I put tree fertilizer on those to drastically increase my hardwood intake because I wanted to get access to ginger island as quickly as possible. Changed around my professions and I went with the lore master, so crab pots no longer required bait. It's just because I wanted to get the rest of the crab pot fish added to the fishing collection. For foraging went with forester so I can get more wood, and I also went with lumberjack, which means regular trees have a chance to drop hardwood. It was Linus's birthday today, so I gave him a lovely coconut. He was super happy with that. So I went to the quarry here, got a prismatic shard from one of those special nodes. I was really happy there. Went into the quarry cave, got myself the golden scythe, so I was super stumped with that. I also got a cool cutscene here where Pierre had a beatdown with Morris, but Pierre managed to get the upper hand and uppercutted Morris straight out of the community centre, which was really funny. Go Pierre. After that, Pierre gave a really cool victory pose. I got a cutscene here too with some light shining down on the bottom left hand corner of the Cindersap forest. I also got a really sad cutscene here with Claire saying no one told her that the Georgia Mart closed, and then I got a new dialogue said I suppose I'll go home now, so I thought that was really sad. Poor Claire doesn't have a job anymore because we went the community centre route. Maybe next time we'll go the Georgia route so we can make Claire happy. So a teleport point appeared in Cinesap Forest, went through the teleport point, and I now got access to the area that Krobus was in a few days ago. This is basically a maze-like area, and I had to navigate it to reach a special area. So I just clicked on a block here and it said follow the mushrooms. And it took me a while to figure it out because there was snow on the mushrooms I needed to kind of go through. But after a while, and thanks to lovely Lionel the Lion, who was on all my live streams, big shout out to you Lionel, I managed to get down to the Junimo Hut area. And each Junimo had a shop down here where they sold a really cool assortment of items. The first Junimo sold decorations, the purple Junimo here sold magic bait and high quality fertilizer, speed grow and retaining soil. It was expensive but still nice to have. The red Junimo sold artifacts, dinosaur eggs, dwarf scrolls, artifacts that I haven't even found yet. And because I got so excited, I decided to purchase a few of those artifacts to speed up my progression with Gunther. I did accidentally purchase the golden relic for 50,000 gold, and after realizing how much it actually cost, it was too late. So I just wasted 50,000 gold there by accident. But at least it would be one less artifact that I'd have to find. The blue Junimo sold legendary fish. He also sold unique, hard to come by fish such as the ice pip, the lava eel and the slime jack. So that was really nice there with that Junimo. And last but certainly not least, the final Junimo sold prismatic shards and rare minerals such as diamonds, fairy stones, star shards. All of these items had great uses. Star shards of course are really nice for crystallariums. He also had emeralds, rubies, topazes, jades, amethysts, granite. It was really cool. I also fished down here as well, and I pulled up a fish called the golden fish, which was a new fish added to the fishing roster. Day 89, I put down some crab pots up here to get some snails for the fishing roster. I then went back to the Junimo area where I tried to get some new fish, and I did. I got a meteor carp, and that was added to the fishing roster. Day number 90, I spent a great deal of time today just swinging my axe, cutting down trees because I needed tons of hardwood to get into Ginger Island to repair the hull of Willie's ship. Thankfully though, the next day, the mahogany seeds, some of them finally grew into mahogany trees. I was able to cut those down, and that actually gave me enough hardwood to go and repair Willie's ship because I already had the battery packs and the iridium bars for the other repairs. So I can now access Ginger Island. So I needed 200 hardwood for the hull, I needed 5 battery packs for the ticket machine, and I needed 5 iridium bars for the iridium anchor. So once I put all those items in, I'd be able to go to Ginger Island the next day. So I thought. I also went to the desert trader and I traded in more jades for staircases. So I went to Marlin until I got a cool cutscene, a new NPC by the name of Alicia. And what's really interesting about this NPC is that she claims that she's from a place called Castle Village. So I'm wondering if Castle Village is somewhere I can go in the expanded mod. Marlin then said that she used to live in Stardew Valley years ago and that she's a talented sniper. I then got a cool cutscene with Victor where he was reading some adventuring books about the Fern Island archipelago. And he said, you may not know this, but the winds down under the sea are full of monsters that never emerge above ground. The next day was an event, so I couldn't go to Ginger Island. Instead, I went to the into the ice event here, and I purchased the Rare Crow and the Tree of the Winter Star. And I did, of course, did the mini game where I pulled up the most fish, and I got a nice reward from the mayor for doing that. As a reward, I got some cool fishing tackles as well as the sailor's cap. The next day, however, day 93, was the day we could finally go to Ginger Island. The first thing I did on Ginger Island was fishing, and I managed to get some golden walnuts from fishing too, which is really nice. There's a total of 5 golden walnuts you can get from fishing. I got the cutscene here then with Leo up in his treehouse, saying that he looks at you with curious eyes. But he'll come around eventually once you give the parrots some golden walnuts. Speaking of which, I spent the whole day getting golden walnuts so I could access a new farm on Ginger Island. So I got rid of a turtle there, which means I could access the west side of Ginger Island. There was a lot more golden walnuts to be found here, just hidden all over the place. But because I've done this so many times by now, it didn't take me long to root out all the secret golden walnuts, quickly accumulate 20 that I needed to fix up the house here, and that means I could now sleep here and I could start tomorrow on Ginger Island to get stuff done. So by the end of today, I did some more fishing in the hopes to get more golden walnuts and in the hopes to get some fish. The next day, it was straight down into the volcano and I had 10 levels to go up. When I got to level 5 here, I got a few recipes off the dwarf. I got the ginger ale recipe, of course. I also got the pink bow, and I thought it would just be a nice change if I was to swap out the hat for my character for a nice pink bow. Let me know in the comments what you think of my new look. I got a cool new scene here where this new NPC from Lance appeared, and he said few adventures have made it to the top of the volcano, and also the First Slash sends their regards. I also got a prismatic shard out of the chest, which is really nice, and I also freed Professor Snail from his cave by blowing up the boulder, and this of course will activate Professor Snail's artifact hunt quest. We have to go around and find all these artifacts. So I very quickly got the fossilized leg there, just blown up some of the nodes around the map. I quickly went back to Stardew Valley for Sebastian's birthday, gave him a frozen tear. The next day the wizard visited me and said he brings news from the Ferngale Republic Ministry of Magic, and he says that the colleagues have tasked him with teaching me warp magic, which sounded really interesting. So he gave me an elixir here to drink, and once I drank that, a cool cutscene happened where I unlocked my magical potential. A new area opened up here then just north of the farm, and this is basically a warp point that I can use to quickly get to the wizard's tower. There's also a cool tree there as well that drop berries every couple of days, which are really nice because they give +2 luck, +2 speed, max energy, and +75 magnetism. So when I took the warp point, not only did it bring me to the wizard's tower, but it brought me also to a warp hub. All those other warp points will have a function later on, which means fast traveling becomes even handier in this game. So I got the Gembird Ruby there as well, and I also got the fish spine. I also got the mummified frog, and by the end of the day on Ginger Island I managed to pull up a new fish called the Lunaloo, which I never gotten before. I also got the sea sponge, which was a cool fish, and I pulled up the snake skull, which is what I needed for Professor Snail's artifact quest. The next day we got the East Gembird, which dropped an aquamarine, and I went back to the volcano as well, where I picked up the mummified bat from blowing open some of the nodes there. I got level 10 combat too. I went with Brute, 15% more damage. Day 97 was spent pulling up trash for Linus's quest because I really wanted those fiber seeds. Now when you complete Linus's quest, you don't get a huge amount of money, but the recipe that you get for completing that quest makes it worth it. I almost unlocked the quest chain, for the magical terminal, so I just got the Dark Talisman there. Also fished up the Slime Jack and a new fish called the Snatcher Worm, which is a Stardew Valley Expanded fish. I just fished up the Void Mayonnaise there, gave that to the Goblin, got access to the Witch's Hut where I got the magical ink that I could give to the Wizard, so I could now use his magical terminal for the obelisks and for the Junimo Huts, and the Golden Clock of course later on in the game when we get 10 million gold together. So I went to Clint today. It was time to upgrade more tools. This time we're going to give him the watering can for a steel watering can. Harvested the fairy roses because I can give those to Sophia as well in terms of loved gifts. And I also went to Andy where I got a cool scene here. He says cleaned up the house and bought new furniture. Been using Pierre's seeds instead of George's, and as a result I've been earning more, which was great. Then he says want something to eat. Just made a nice farmer's lunch and we ate that together. I also went to Sophia's place and I bought the aged Blue Moon wine, which gives me a whopping +7 luck. I also wanted to see if I could combine that with the magic rock candy for an insane amount of luck. Got a warp point there on my farm, which takes me directly to this warp point here, and I also warped back to the wizard's place too, so the fast traveling was really nice. Then I took another warp point in the wizard's tower, which brings me back to the witch's hut. And it was time to fish up a new fish, and it was by far the hardest fish that I had to catch yet. This fish was the void eel, and it was super hard to catch. Super hard. But we did get it after a few attempts, and we spent the rest of the day then doing the submarine minigame. To get the fish you can only get via this minigame, for example the midnight carp, the spook fish. I also got a pearl, which is really nice. And finally I got the blobfish. Day 100, and I decided to spend today by doing a Super Skull Cavern run. I was saving up resources for this for ages. I had assembled 100 staircases for accumulating jades all the time. I also had a magic rock candy, and I also had the aged Blue Moon wine. So I started with the magic rock candy, +5 luck. Then I took the Blue Moon wine on top of that, which stacked onto the magic rock candy. So I had +5, also +7 luck, giving me a total of +12 luck. And that luck was worth it because I did get an auto grabber shortly after. Then I nabbed my first prismatic shard, of course. Shortly after, I nabbed my second prismatic shard. Then got a treasure room with a crystallarium. So it was shaping up to be an absolutely marvelous run. The third prismatic shard came just a few floors after that. So again, it's just super lucky. That was a magic rock candy right there. That was the fourth prismatic shard, of course, which means I had a magic rock candy plus a prismatic shard. That was the fifth prismatic shard, followed by the sixth inside this mummy room. Basically, I finished the run with a total of 8 prismatic shards, and that was the 100 days of Stardew Valley Expanded completed. So I'm going to leave the video there, and I really hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to watch me play 200 days of Stardew Valley Expanded, then just like the video and leave a note in the comment section. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.